Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 32.5k subscribers. Can we get to 33k by the end of the month? Please like this video down below and subscribe to the channel before we get started. And today I'm going to be doing my actual presidential election for 2020 prediction. This is not actually a joke. I did my April Fool's joke on April 1st. Some people were mad at me. Some people didn't understand it was a joke and unsubscribed for some reason. That's okay. But it is what it is, and we're going to be doing our updated actual legitimate Trump versus Biden prediction for the month of April. I already filled out all of the safe states. You basically know that the states that are filled out on the map here are basically going to go safe in either column. And there's some safe states that we're going to get to. I'm going to basically be doing the margins. Obviously, you know, safe is 10 plus, likely is 5 to 10, lean is 2 to 5, and tilt is less than 2. And we're going to be filling this map out. I'm going to start going east to west. I'm going to fill out every single state here, starting with the state of Maine. The Maine 2nd district is going to go to Trump by over 10 points. If you look at trends, it's basically hard to see it not stay in Trump's column. If you look at trends, it's very hard to not see it in Trump's column. Even the Democrat representative from the district knew this and did not vote to impeach Donald Trump for one of the articles based on it, even though I do believe that he is going to lose his seat this November. But Maine's 2nd district is going to go to Donald Trump. Maine's 1st district is going to go to Joe Biden, though it's going to be much narrower than it was last time. And Donald Trump is going to pick off the state at large in the ever so slightly tilt Trump column. So he's got Maine down. That is the first flip of the night, and we're going to do our second flip now is New Hampshire, partially because Trump's leading every poll in New Hampshire, but again, polls are not the only factor at this time, but it would make sense based on the fact that he only lost the state by 3,000 votes. You had a lot more third-party votes than you had the margin between Trump and Hillary, and a lot of those are going to be breaking for Trump. And if you look at trends, it is a very demographically friendly state to Trump. It is 95% white. A lot of that is working class white, and Trump's been making an effort. He's coming to New Hampshire. He's doing rallies, and I do believe he is going to win the state of New Hampshire in November. Rhode Island we can talk about in 2024, maybe 2028 when it becomes a swing state, not a tipping point state because it's going to be too small, but a swing state. And I do believe that Trump will do better there than what he did in 2016, but he's not going to be able to win Rhode Island this time around. It is going to go in the Democrat column, probably safe Dem. He'll probably go to Joe Biden for around 10% or so. Connecticut, New Jersey, and Delaware are probably going to go to Biden by over 10 as well. Again, if Bernie Sanders was on the ticket, maybe you could see those 4 states have a potential at flipping, but we don't see that this time around because Bernie is not going to be the nominee and Joe Biden is going to be the nominee. So those are basically firmly and safe in the Biden column. Now we can get to the state of Pennsylvania here. And by the way, in terms of Pennsylvania, I had this map here that I made of registration change, and here what you see is most counties, and it has updated. I think Philadelphia flipped blue recently in registrations, and you see this map and you see western Pennsylvania and every county almost since 2016 going heavily in favor of the Republicans. That's going to be good for Donald Trump. Even Philadelphia is even trended red. So Democrats are failing to really mobilize voters. And even in some of these blue areas where the Democrats have gained in registrations, that doesn't mean Trump can't win them. Trump very well could win Bucks County. Again, it trended red in 2016, and a lot of people don't know that. People talk about Pennsylvania as some sort of home state for Joe Biden, but that everybody basically knows that's a joke. He lived there less than Hillary, and Hillary got better turnout in Pennsylvania than what Obama got in 2012, and she still lost the state. So basically, in terms of Pennsylvania, I'm going to have to put Pennsylvania in Trump's column. I do believe that Biden has basically become a traitor to the blue-collar worker, and Pennsylvania is going to lean in Trump's column. Yeah, we'll make it tilt. We'll be nice to Biden because he was born there, but that's not going to really play a factor, and Biden's not going to be able to win Pennsylvania. The state of Virginia, we talk about it being too establishmentarian, Nova being a problem. That's probably going to be likely in Biden's column. North Carolina, however, even though some early polls have shown that Donald Trump is in trouble there. A lot of those polls are Democrat internal polls, and I made this map as well on my Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter for more maps and daily analysis at Red Eagle Patriot on Twitter. So basically, Republicans have gained a net registration of 116,000 voters in basically every single county except 2 western counties, which are a little bit of an anomaly, and Wake County have trended more net Republican in registrations. Even Charlotte has trended more net Republican in registrations. This is a good thing for Republicans in North Carolina. I do believe that Tom Tillis will win, albeit narrowly, and I do believe Trump will win the state by a lean margin, possibly by a wider margin than when he won it by in 2016. Hillary Clinton put a lot of eggs into the basket of North Carolina, and it really didn't work out so well. Georgia's another state people are talking about, a state that's getting closer and closer because the Democrats are surging in places like suburban Atlanta. However, we've seen a lot of polls that have Trump up by almost 10 points in Georgia, and we've seen polls out of the Senate race there that shows that the Republicans are probably going to win that by around 10 points in the special election. So in terms of Georgia, I'm not going to put it in the safe column or the lean column. I'll put it in the likely column, but it is much closer to lean than safe. I think Trump's going to win it by roughly around, 5 percentage points right now, but that could get closer, and we have to watch the state moving forward. But based on the empirical data that we've seen out of Georgia so far, I'm going to put that in the likely Trump column for now. The state of Florida, it's getting very, very close, as you can see here. Republicans very energized for the primary. That's a good thing. And trends in the panhandle as well as down in the southern part of the state, the mix of the 2016 and 2018 trends together. And the popularity of Ron DeSantis should put this in Trump's column. I'm going to put it lean Trump, not tilt Trump, basically because the state of Florida loves incumbents. It voted for George W. Bush by 400,000 votes. It voted for him by almost like 4 percentage points or so. It even voted for George H.W. Bush back when he was the incumbent in 92 and got walloped by Clinton nationally. So I do believe that Florida is going to stay in the Trump column. The state of Ohio, how could I forget the state of Ohio? I think that is honestly going to be safe Trump. I think at the end of the day, Trump is going to win Ohio by 10 percentage points. Iowa, almost by 10. You talk about the farmers and the left says, oh, but the trade war, but the farmer approval of Trump is higher than ever. So that's going to bode well electorally for him no matter what. And this is going to bleed over into a place like Wisconsin, where you basically see even the polls in the aggregate have it at a destined tie right now. So I think that Trump is a good shot to win Wisconsin. And when you weight some of the Democrat internal polls, they show Trump winning by, 3 to 5 points over Biden in some instances in the state of Wisconsin. You have a lot of room for growth in Wisconsin. I believe Wisconsin leans in Trump's column. And by the way, I did this map for Michigan, where I looked at the congressional district swing between 2012 and 2016. I did put this in the last video, but I'm going to put it here for reference. Again, if you want these maps, follow me on Twitter at Red Eagle Patriot. Link is in description. But basically, you have parts of the state swinging, 10 to 20% more Republican over 2012. Is that swing going to continue at that rate? I think we're getting maxed out in some areas for now. But at the same time, I do believe that the trends will be enough to overpower Trump past Biden, no matter if Biden wins the popular vote by a wider margin than Hillary Clinton did. I still think Trump's going to win Michigan. I live here. I think John James is going to win. I don't care what some of these early polls say, and the early polls now have it much closer than what the late polls had in 2016. So you guys do the math. Minnesota is a state I think could flip into Trump's column. This is one of those tough decisions that we're going to have to make in terms of Minnesota. Now, Mike Lindell's for the My Pillow company. They're definitely doing a lot for the community because of what's going on now. And I think that outreach in that community supporting Donald Trump is a very good thing for the state of Minnesota. So I do believe that Donald Trump has a good chance to win. And if you look at trends and if you look at the decrease of the third party vote, it's only going to benefit him because he would have won if it wasn't for Evan McMullin, and Gary Johnson in particular took another chunk of votes away from Trump. So I do believe that Minnesota could tilt to Trump. I think he's going to go after it. If Biden picks Klobuchar, make it blue. But I can't go off of that right now. So basically, Trump has beaten Biden so far already, and we haven't even filled out Texas. So Trump could actually lose Texas and Arizona under this map and still win, which is actually very, very interesting. I've never thought of it that way, especially talking about my last video. But I do think Trump is going to win Texas by a likely margin. I've said 7 percentage points for a while. If you want more reasoning on Texas, you can look at my last video for Texas. The states of New Mexico and Colorado, I don't think Trump should write them off yet, but at the same time, I don't believe he's going to win them fairly easily. However, when you have decreased Hispanic enthusiasm in New Mexico, I still think it's going to be likely. Colorado, I think it's going to be lean. There's still a lot of room for trends in some of these rural counties. Trump made big gains there. He could make some more gains, and if he stops the bleeding in the Denver suburbs, but you see have a state that's trending in 2 different ways. One of the rural areas trending much, much more Republican, the urban areas, which are bigger, trending more Democrat. I still think that Trump is going to make it a close ball game in the state of Colorado come November, especially because Biden cannot enthuse voters there. The state of Arizona is going to be a very close race, in my opinion. I think it's the state most likely to flip, not even the Rust Belt. In my opinion, I'm going to put it as tilt, in part because what you have is you have this big third-party vote share, and a lot of these voters were Mormon voters and things like that, and a lot of them voted for Sinema because Sinema's an ex-Mormon, she's moderate, and Donald Trump, she basically tied herself to Trump more than honestly Martha McSally if you watch that debate. But at the same time, I think that a lot of those voters are going to come home to Donald Trump. He's proven himself as a true and real conservative, so I do think he's going to win the state of Arizona. Biden in the state of Nevada, I think it's going to tilt in his column right now. I think Clark County's a little bit too big, but I think that the state has been trending in the Republican column for the past 12 years now, but I don't think it's going to be enough to flip the state just yet, or probably will it ever is another question, because 2024 we'll have to look at the election then. But Trump has a chance at Nevada. It's just not the most likely path of action. I did forget Nebraska's 2nd district. I think that will tilt into Trump's column. It's going to be very close. That's why Trump needs to make sure he goes to Nebraska's 2nd district, because that is definitely a district that you could say is at risk of flipping. It's a very suburban district. It was red in 2018, but you had the Bernie candidate on the Dem side, so you have to take that into consideration. As for Oregon, I think Biden wins it by roughly 9 percentage points, which will tilt it in the likely column instead of the safe column, but Trump really does not have a chance at winning the state, but just for empirical data purposes, it has to be in the likely column. So here you guys have it. Trump is going to beat Biden in this map, 322 to 216. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, join the Discord, join the Patreon and Subscribestar, join the subreddit, links in description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.